Ladies and gentlemen, would you please make welcome David D. with the Elvis Tribute.
See here, see right up. Oh, see here, what you have done. Well, I said, see right up. Oh, see here, what you have done. Now, girl, you made me love you, but now, you love when it's gone. Hear what I said? Well, I'm going away, baby. Lord, I won't be back till fall. Well, I'm going away, baby. Lord, I won't be back till fall. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say, play me. Yo. Lord, I won't be back till fall. If I find me a good girl, I won't be back at all. Hear what I say? Well, I said, see right up. Oh, see what you have done. Well, I said, see right up. Lord, see what you have done. Well, girl, you made me love you. Now, you love him and it's gone. Hear what I say? Well, I say, see.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is yet another episode, and the very last episode of Rogan Radio in the luxurious Studio A of Casa Rogan Lumberport. We're sort of crying a little bit. We have David D in the background. Tonight we have a full house. Tonight we're going to talk about the 70th anniversary of the Sunset Ellis Drive-In. Yeah! Big round of applause.
Big round. Put your hands together.
Yeah! We're going to talk about some zaniness that happened down at Myrtle Beach.
Or you can tell that same story you told out in the garage.
We're going to talk about the Ride for Life coming up next weekend. Bikers for a Cure. We also have a full house. And Derek is finally here.
I'm here.
Listen, he a couple weeks ago.
Kill it.
I don't know where it's coming from. We get these static things all the new studio. The reason I say this is the very last episode. Oh, it might be that one. It could be this one. Anyway, the reason we say that it's going to be the very last episode of Rogan Radio in Studio A is for the mere fact it's absolutely going to be the mere...
the last episode of Rogan Radio into Rogan Radio.
And you know what? Of course, I forgot to do this. What we're going to do?
He forgot to hit record, Jim.
So we have this Facebook thing, and we're going to do it all over again.
Well, hello everybody again.
Okay, ready? Because I forgot to hit record on this thing. Well, this is what we use for the actual podcast or when we send it out to the world. And the Facebook thing is just one aspect of what we do. We are on YouTube right now. We're on Facebook right now, and tomorrow it'll go out for the world. Which, by the way, is absolutely crazy. Some of the things that we Myrtle Beach was a very big name for us last week. Anyway, let's start it over real quick because I forgot to hit record.
You can throw the music in, right?
Well, I'll throw the music in.
All right, let's everybody for 5
now
seconds.
listen, it'll be-
5 seconds.
Okay, 5 seconds. We have a 5-second rule. 5 seconds.
And then
We have a hard time doing that.
nobody can ever do.
Okay.
Nobody can ever shut
5
up. for
second
5
rule.
seconds.
5 second rule.
Okay, here we go. Shh, quiet.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to another episode of Rogan Radio here from the friendly confines of Studio A in the luxurious confines of Casa La Rogan Lumber Report.
A lot of confines there.
And you know what? It's the very last episode we're going to actually have in Studio A because tomorrow everything gets dismantled. And tonight, now listen, I didn't tell you guys this. I forgot because we were telling stories about Myrtle Beach outside. Tonight, when you guys leave, when we sign off, everybody's going to sign off. You're going to have to unhook. If you know how to do that, unhook your microphone. You'll see a knob. You have to turn your mic off. I'll turn your mic off, and you just unhook it and you walk away. Because the next time you see us,
I'm going to drop it.
the next time you see us, we're going to be out in the new studios. And this room will be Mia's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello
So we know
Kitty
what's
on the
going on.
walls.
Yeah.
She actually wants this room after it's been so violated.
It has been. And let's ask her.
As long as she didn't
If
bring
she
her
could-
black light in here, Chad.
Hey, Mia.
She can walk around.
Mia's
She
in
can
the
walk
green
around.
room. Mia, Erica, Cuddles, and Michelle, they're in the green room right now. Hey, Mia, come in here for a second. We need your help. So we're going to ask her what she thinks about, getting a new room that's been so
Violated.
by a podcast.
Right.
Well,
Okay, you
I don't
had
know.
that too.
Well, is she going to like that or what? I don't know.
She'll come in and go.
She's
she'll
not going
say,
to come. She's embarrassed by that stuff.
Yeah, she won't.
Didn't she just jump up and say she wanted this room?
She absolutely did.
Yeah, she claimed.
She absolutely did. So anyway, the big move is going to happen to after tonight, tomorrow and Tuesday. The two rooms, the man cave disappears.
There's our
so
delay.
sad. Here
and
she is.
there
Here
she is. Come in here for a second. Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for
Jimmy.
Mia Ferris. Take a seat.
Here we go.
You
Jim,
got to
yeah.
talk now. Talk right into the microphone.
Where's the applause, Jim?
Now, what we
the
want?
right one.
No, we're already tearing stuff down. Hold on for a second. Anyway, go ahead and talk while I fix the microphone.
Talk.
La,
You
la,
got
la, la,
hey,
la.
get an applause there geared up in the chamber there, buddy.
Here.
We'll try this.
I'll do it just
Mia's in the studio, everybody.
Mia Ferris is in the studio, and this is actually going to be your room here in about a couple days, by the way. Come on down here and say hi to everybody. Come on, you can say it.
Hi.
there we go.
Now, the big question is since, this is our very last broadcast from this studio. We've been doing this in here for 2 years now.
Has it been 2 years?
2 years now.
September's 2 years?
For us, it's been 2 years.
Oh, yeah, for the
Yeah,
old men.
yeah,
those
baby.
old grandfathers.
So, the question
only
is,
a year.
how much, what are you planning on doing? Are you going to paint, or do you want us to sweep the place out? Do you want us to put some, I don't know, some things.
Disinfectant down.
Disinfectant stuff, some smelly candles?
Make
What
sure
do
you
want?
clean the light switch real good, because I think Chuck put a booger on it.
Nothing.
You don't. You don't want anything.
Said she'll come and anoint and pray over it for her.
You need it exercised.
That's what it needs after Chuck's had this room.
No.
I know one thing she wants you to do. First thing.
Get it out of here.
No, put the door back on.
Oh, I forgot. There's no door on here.
She's a teenage girl, and she needs a door
Hope
on
you
her
didn't
room.
get rid of that door.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mia Ferris.
Here we go, Jim.
Thank you, Mia.
ready.
Thank you,
I'm
Mia.
ready.
Congratulations.
Yay, woo. Christian, what's up with your dad, Christian? He is sleeping over there.
Listen, I'm not sleeping. I'm sitting here talking like I normally always do.
Oh, my apologies. You didn't know, did you, Christian?
All right, let's go around the room real quick, and then we're going to call. Let me tell you what's going to happen tonight. We're going to talk first of all about we have the 70th anniversary of the Sunset Ellis, and that's coming up next weekend. We're also going to talk about the Ride for Life. That also happens earlier in the day. Next weekend. We are also going to call Wayne Worth. Now, Wayne Worth is a cool cat, man. He's doing our counties. He's going to all 55 counties of West Virginia. And if you know Wayne Worth,
He's doing a great job, too, isn't he?
let me tell you something about Wayne. There is no other person on this planet that loves West Virginia more than Wayne Worth.
Nobody.
And he's going around now, I mean, especially with the floods of 100 and Mannington, just like he did when it was down south. I mean, the guy is all over the place. I mean, how he finds time to sleep, I don't know, but we're going to call him up.
I wonder where he got the inspiration to do all this. Where did he
I don't know. We're going to ask him because we're going to get him on the phone.
I think I know.
We're going to do that. Anyway, let's go around the room. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, we weren't here last week because we were the Michelle, Erica, Mia, and Jack and Judy and Jack. We were all down at Myrtle Beach having a good time. By the way, we got married. We didn't do that. That happens October 14th.
That way we didn't have to wear our tux.
Ladies and gentlemen, over in the director's seat, we like to call him the Godfather. He also has a nickname of D. You know him best as Darren Hardman. Give him a big round of applause. Yeah.
Paula.
Yeah.
Hi, Paula.
Paula's on. Yeah. Who's Paula? Which Paula? Paula Winans?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Paula Winans.
I do
She's
too.
fun as hell, man. And the next guy we're going to introduce, he's from Monongah, West Virginia. He is the costume designer. He is the electrical engineer. He also is a bike seller on the side because you have like 15,000 vehicles now over the house. You're like a used car salesman.
Yeah, and the bad part, I'm going and looking at a Jeep here this week, too.
You're looking at a Jeep
Not the one
now?
sitting in Monongah, is it?
Can't
No.
drive all those
Okay.
at the same
No,
time.
that's only a 2.5 liter. I'm
I
looking
know.
for the.
I checked into that.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Monongah, give a big round of applause for Chad Pool.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Wow. And the next person we have in the studio, Antoinette. We've been friends since Christ left Pittsburgh. And listen, I don't know if you guys know who Jesus is, but he hasn't been around for a long time.
What kind of saying is that?
Well, Christ left Pittsburgh. I mean, that's the only reason the Penguins and Steelers win. And Pirates, I mean, that's the only reason. He blessed the city of Pittsburgh with Permanis, the Pirates. Everything begins with a P in Pittsburgh. You got the Pittsburgh, well, I guess not the Steelers.
I wish he'd come to Morgantown.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause. We're going to talk about the Sunset Ellis tonight, the big Antoinette Ellis Casto. Yeah. And make sure you hit those emoji too. We love that stuff. I'm watching Chad's screen right now, and right now I'm not seeing any emoji, and that burns my ass.
Oh.
There we go. Now it comes up. Very good.
We'll put some hearts in
Now
there.
the next guy.
Yeah.
You went up to Ohio.
Yeah, I'm going back, too.
Jesus Christmas, dude! You went up to Ohio,
Yeah.
and you were gone for a weekend.
Yep.
Then tell us about the beach trip.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, it was fantastic. We went to Ocean Isle, North Carolina, which is just north of North Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Went there. We spent, actually 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
Who spends 8 days at the beach other than Derek McIntyre?
Yeah, we did. We stopped in Charlotte on the way home and just kind of chilled out there for a night.
Did you say you stopped and sharted on the way home?
Charlotte.
Ladies and gentlemen from Shinston, West Virginia, give a big round of applause for D-Mac Derek McIntyre. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, boys.
I got no beer.
Oh, I have someone right here.
You got one right
All you got to do is clap your finger.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you.
Now, the next guy we're going to introduce to you, he was a stripper in Japan.
Yeah,
He was also a pachinko champion. He was also a concho champion. Where, listen, if you don't know what concho is, I'm going to reiterate and I'm going to remind you what it is. It's where in Japan it's like a childhood prank to where if you bend over or something like tie your shoes,
Then you get a little.
and you get two fingers right up your butthole.
Oh God! All the way to the knuckle.
Now, Bruce, when was the last time you went to Japan? When was the last time you?
7 years ago.
7 years ago, Bruce was the concho champion.
It still may be for all we know, but 7 years is a long time, Bruce.
Yeah.
We've been trying to keep the spirit alive,
Yeah.
Brucey. And now listen, you had a lot of earthquakes over in Japan, and the family's okay and
Yeah,
everything.
my parents are doing all right.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good, man. That's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from right outside Tokyo, Japan, give a big round of applause for Bruce Takahashi. We like to call him Brucilla. Yeah. Now, the next guy's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's a safety captain in a local mine. He's been busy as balls because, you know what? The mines are all opened up and there's coal everywhere. And you know what? What I'm glad to see is that you actually haven't been, accosted because, it seems like everything's running smooth now. You're not going in and writing people up like you used to. And it's just, it's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing.
Safety's a tough business.
Safety's a tough
Safety is
business.
paramount.
See, there's another P.
Paramount.
I'm on this P thing right
When you
now.
gamble with safety, you're betting your life.
Dang, that should be the bumper sticker. Ladies and gentlemen from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, give a big round of applause for Jimmy Whiz. Yeah, Jimmy Whiz. And over in the next seat, the co-pilot of this entire thing, Jimmy and Todd and I, we started this thing 2 years ago, and we've been together. And then Brucey came along, and then I think Chad, you were next, and then Darren was next, and Chad came, and then D-Mac was in here, and then we're just a big happy family. And we're kind of reminiscing a little bit because this is the last time in this room. That's it. Next week we're probably not going to have a show because I'll be putting what do kids have now? Cabbage Patch dolls and strawberry shortcake stuff and all that kind of junk in the rooms and all that. They still do that. Aquariums and what are those little crabs you get from the beach?
Chuck hasn't been around
Hermit
kids.
crabs and all that stuff. I'm going to be doing all that and making it smell nice and painting the walls pink and all this kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe when we do our new the first episode, Chuck, Jimmy out in the new studio, it'll just be us three. Leave these guys out.
Yeah.
For old times.
Wow.
I do have an idea.
Yeah, for nostalgia. Yeah.
So I don't think that's a good idea.
Maybe we'll have Antoinette, but the other, Chad and Darren and Derek.
You know what? I could take a week off from y'all.
Derek's got the middle finger up. Ladies and gentlemen, the best guy that a friend could have. He's going to be the best man.
The marrying.
He's the best guy you could marry, and also the best.
I'll marry you.
Best guy you can marry.
The best guy you could marry if you're into needing to marry a guy.
Marrying dude.
He's going to be the best guy best man at my wedding, which we're going to have Michelle in here in a second, by the way.
Oh.
Donnie Everett said there may already be crabs in this room.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Lumberport, West Virginia, via Ohio, give a big round of applause for Captain Todd Earlbeck. Yeah. Last time.
Thank you very much.
Let the emoji fly, by the way. Because I want to introduce you something. There's going to be three new ladies, 3.5. You have Megan, who lives in Fairmont now, and then you have me and Erica. This is going to be me, as you just saw her a minute ago. And then Erica's going to be in the other room. Michelle's going to be in the master bedroom, and I'm going to be out in that new shed. That's where I live now.
Yeah.
But there's like a missing Rogan, and a lot of people think that's my nephew. But actually, in reality, it's my son right here. His name is Christian Wisniewski.
Put your hands together.
Straight from Grafton. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for Christian Wiz.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh, there we go again.
Extra applause, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Now out in the green room. Man, you know what? You know that? Out in the green room, we have... Louise. I don't know what happened there.
You didn't mean to do that, did you?
You know what? It was just going off. I was watching his hands the entire time.
Yeah, I was too.
Out in the green room, we have Michelle, and that's where the other two girls are. And we also have the guy that became the Majestic Beard, courtesy of Kelly. I believe it was Kelly at a Duggar dance. Then he became the groundskeeper. Anyway, out in the green room, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for the Majestic Beard. We like to call him Cuddles now, courtesy of Michelle. Mark Coffee.
Mark Coffee.
Yeah. We like our coffee black around here. I do. I like with some coconut oil. I love doing that.
Terry Reinhardt.
He's not black.
I don't
Hi,
think.
Terry.
Hello, Terry Reinhardt. Who do we have on here right now?
Ernie Johnson, Tim
Erndo!
Carpenter,
Erndo!
Donnie Everett.
Hey, hello, Donnie, straight from D.C. We had Touch and Goes. Did you see the Mike?
Yeah.
Bartender
What?
Mike put the
So
pictures
he
up.
came here, you guys touched, then he left?
No, they do Touch and Goes with Air Force One. You know how all that works up there. You know, that was I've said this for a long time. Randy Scott was here probably a little bit over a year ago, and we were talking about why. Now, listen, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'll be the first to tell you. But don't you think it's kind of odd that you have a hospital, then you have the FBI center, then Robert Seabird, God bless his soul, extended this runway up at Benedum that only has these little commuters that maybe they're always trying to find somebody to fly out of that thing for like $100 to go to Myrtle or Daytona, and all. But they extended this thing so where you can land a 747 on. I mean, that thing is long. There's only one thing I know that's longer.
Well,
What?
Saltwell Stretch.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know what? Now maybe that's the conspiracy theorist in me, but see, somehow I'm thinking something. If something ever breaks loose, there's an airport. There's the people that they can commandeer from the hospital and go right to the bunker.
If I'm not
that's why I was
mistaken-
thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If I'm not mistaken, they can land a C-5 there now.
Can they? Can you say that again, Darren? Because I can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking with you. I'm hoping. What's the status on you, Ben?
Well, I went to my final checkup, and they're concerned about the vocal cords, so they're going to go down
Well, we are too.
with a camera and maybe shoot it with the neadle. So
Yeah, we're actually concerned I might fix it.
check it out. Yeah, and actually,
But you feeling okay though?
keep it up. We'll be sleeping with the fishes.
You feeling okay though?
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
good,
that's
man. I
good.
feel
That's
really
good. Anyway, we have a guy we're going to call right now. His name is Wayne Worth. If you haven't seen what he does when he talks about West Virginia, you've seen his videos. He goes all the way around. Just go ahead and ring him up. And it's our 55 counties, basically. And he goes all over the place. And to do each county, he does like a history lesson, sort of, to spotlight each county of West Virginia. Now, he's also very active in the community. And when the floods were, like, was it last year or 2 years ago, D-Mac? Last year.
Last year.
Okay, he went down south, and he worked his rear end off helping people rebuild and doing, gutting their houses out and all that. Now he's doing the same thing now with in 100 and Mannington. We're going to get an update, and I love talking to Wayne because we need to get him back. I told him when we go out there to the new studio that we're going to go ahead and hello, Wayne Worth. What's up, baby? Wayne,
Wayne, you are on Rogan Radio, Wayne.
Don't cuss.
we need to get him back. I told him when we go out there
He's listening.
Wayne.
Hey.
Hello.
Wayne, yeah. What's up, my man?
Hello.
Wayne.
Hello.
You just want
Wayne, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Is there an echo?
How about now, Wayne? I can't hear Wayne.
I know.
No, he can't hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear
Yeah.
fine.
What is? We haven't changed
Can you hear?
anything.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can
I
hear
can
him.
hear Wayne, but he can't hear us.
Can't hear you now.
Oh,
Turn
my
the echo back up.
He said that
Watch
he can't
this.
hear
Turn
you,
the-
Chuck.
No, the one right below that. The one right below that, Chuck.
Okay, hold on.
That one.
Wayne, how about that?
I can hear you.
Okay, we're going to use
yeah.
that. I'm not sure why everything changes, but it does.
Nobody's been in here. Swear to God, I've never been here since you left.
Well, the girls have been.
He might be cursed.
Oh,
I don't know.
Man, maybe this room is haunted.
Yeah.
Wayne, what's been going on with you, man?
Well, just got back from Wallace a couple of hours ago. We were working up there in the flood relief, volunteering. We helped a guy named Mr. Fleming replace some of his flex duct work in his crawl space. Helped him repair a bridge, and then even helped him cut up a tree. So that he had some flood damage too.
Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the video segment that you do, but what I really like about you, Wayne, is you're legit. I mean, when you put your money where your mouth is. I mean, you shoveled sidewalks in Staley when the big snows happened.
Money's dirty.
When a couple years ago, and now like last year we were talking about the floods, and you go down there and you just bust your can. You get as many volunteers as you can. You go around the counties, the Harrison County, trying to do the thing with the drugs now, and man, that stuff is out of control. It seems like. In Harrison County Rant Room. Wayne, do you ever go in Harrison County Rant Room?
Sometimes, yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. That's like watching the soap opera on there.
Is that like Topics? Is that sort of the same thing?
Yeah,
like
It's
Topics?
almost
the same thing.
And let me tell you
Is
something.
it?
It's very entertaining. But the bad thing is, you see stuff that's real happening all over the place, and they call people out on. I don't know,
Oh, straight up. There's no.
And it's sad. And when Wayne was going, I mean, you were in Shinston, you've been to Clarksburg, or all the different neighborhoods of Clarksburg, just kind of giving awareness to where to get help for even with drug abuse, or if you're an addict by chance.
Yeah, I mean, the group that we started, Neighbors in Action, Harrison County, it started probably right around, I say December. And what happened was we had 3 overdoses that weekend. And a friend of mine, we just kind of met there in the Kroger parking lot. We just ran into each other, and he said, "Hey, man," says, "we got to do something about this." And I said, if you want to really do something about this, I said, we got to really reach out to the families and to just the people and give them information on where to get their loved ones help that are struggling with this, who are ready to get help. Because what we found was that not many people knew where to get help.
Well,
that's what we've done. We've knocked on over 3,000 doors.
Doesn't it seem like that's the entire thing, is that people want help? Because when you get yourself into a mixed-up situation like that, all you're looking for somebody to help you, for like a helping hand. And most people are pretty easy to accuse and to kind of bash. But then when somebody holds their hand out and say, "Look, I can help you. I can at least lead you in the right direction," then that's one step that they didn't have before, which might, it's a terrible thing with, like, say, heroin and meth and all this other garbage floating around town these days. But when you have that one person, say out of 3,000 homes, if you've had 20 people get help and get themselves cleaned up, then at that point you have their kids, their families. I mean, what do they call that? The butterfly effect?
Yeah, it spreads out from there. You know what I mean? You help that one person.
And then they might become, you might have that one person.
Yeah, now they're an advocate, and they'll spread the news.
Yeah, so that's great. But
yeah,
go ahead, Wayne.
And that's what I was going to talk about. I mean, we've reached out. We knocked on about 3,000 doors so far since December. We've helped 2 people literally on their porches. Called the 844 helpline and got them into detox like during a walk, which is just crazy. We never expected that. But also too, it's kind of taken shape. Where even Clarksburg and Bridgeport are putting our flyers in the in the water bills and stuff. And I mean, so it's taken off. We have one started in Barber County too, another one in Randolph County. So we were just trying to, our thing is if we could help turn one person's life around and get them help and get them back on the up and up again, then that's one less customer for a drug dealer. And if we could multiply that by about 200 people in the next 3 to 4 years, then we may see a significant dent in the problem.
Absolutely.
Because if there's no demand for drugs, then guess what? The suppliers are going to go somewhere else. So
right.
That's why. And it's just a compassionate thing to do too.
Well, you have to. You don't want to see anybody self-destruct.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this, because you're also very, very in tune with what's happening now, say like what happened in Hundred, what happened in Mannington, what happened down in Wallace. I mean, there was a lot of floods, and that was to me, that kind of came out of nowhere. I know we were supposed to get storms, but I didn't know it was supposed to be that bad.
6 inches of rain overnight.
Yeah, 6.2.
Now, on the boots on the ground kind of stuff, what did you actually get to see as far as, and what do people still need? And, just give us the whole rundown on that, because, I don't think at this point, everybody wants to help, but they don't really necessarily know how to.
Yeah, I was up there this morning myself.
Well, I think, for the most part in the flood, I mean, of course there's been a lot of devastation, you got people in Hundred that have had, 4 to 6 feet of water in their homes. I mean, it's not nearly as extensive or bad as it was down in Clendenin and Clay counties last year, where some people got like 8 feet of water and it was more widespread, but it's still affecting a lot of people. And really the things that people need right now, I think are just, they just need help just cleaning out their homes. They need, they need supplies, cleaning supplies, that sort of thing. They need labor,
manpower.
Until we get, FEMA in there, if FEMA does declare these areas, I guess national disaster areas, and they start helping, people are going to start needing, drywall and stuff, and things to rebuild, and that's going to be the next process. And we've been really blessed with the donations that we had. Even DMAC in the studios there has got me, all sorts of Tyvek suits. He's been a big help, both in the 2016 flood and this flood too. So. I want to commend him. He's a good friend and a good brother. Yeah. So,
well, I'll tell you what.
No worries,
you know what? I mean, it's just good that you guys can do this. I mean, that you do it. That you have the passion to help somebody out, because a lot of us, it's like, for me, as an example, I'm a lazy guy. I want to be the first to tell you, and I'll go give $20.
You don't even have to tell us.
Yeah, I know. It's one thing to go give, say, like $20 or $100 to a cause, and in that way, but at that point, still, you're asking somebody else to do the dirty work. You know what I mean? And then thank goodness for like D-Max and for the Waynes. Wayne, we need a worth for you. We need a worth for you. We need like a nickname for Wayne. We need a nickname for Wayne.
I'll let you all figure that out.
Yeah, we'll work about that later.
That might be a bad idea.
We'll call him Wayne. We'll call him W2. Wayne Worth. Get
there
it?
You go.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, so is there,
anyway,
yeah, keep going.
But anyway, I think with the flood, I think a lot of people just need labor, and the reason why we do it, I mean, yeah, we love our neighbors and everything. We want to help folks in need, but each one of our volunteers, I mean, they're like family to us. I mean, we didn't even know each other until like a year ago, but each person does it because of their own personal reasons. I mean, there's, we have a couple volunteers that we're struggling with depression, and this was a way to, when they reach out to somebody and they feel good about that, this kind of builds momentum. And next thing you know, they're taking more leadership roles and things in the community and things in their own life. Others do it because they just feel like it's the right thing to do, and they feel compelled to do it.
And it makes you feel good. I mean, when you get done doing something like that, it makes you feel good. There's something about it. And say if you do have, just like what you're saying, which I never really thought of before, say if you're having some kind of a battle and, your own demon that you're fighting. Right. And when you go out there and you can do this and you just see how powerful you can be as an individual, everybody else is giving up on you, including yourself, which is the worst thing. But then when you go out there and you just do something small at first, then the next thing you do it a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Then you can go home, you can sleep at night and know you just did something good. Well, and it feels good.
You made a difference in somebody
making
else's
a difference.
Life. Because I'm telling you, it don't take much. Like I said, I was out there this morning, and I just want to say this real quick. I was with the 3% Republic. I'm the state leader, and we had a contingent up there this morning. And all we did was shovel mud and stuff out of a guy's basement. and
Right.
and he was, ecstatic. That it's just, it don't take a whole lot of effort to change or make a difference in somebody's life. It's just incredible.
Yeah. I mean, that's big. And not only that, it allows you when you do go home, everybody all the time, like this week, I said, well, I had a terrible week. Really, in reality, compared to these people, I didn't have a bad week.
Right.
Right.
So,
Well, that's what we went up. Michelle and I went up to Cheat Lake on Saturday because the water. Listen, we went up there and all the floodwaters and things like that and all the tributaries of that. Okay, so they had the whole reason that dam is there is for flood control. Well, they shut the dam, they open the dam, they have different gates on that dam depending on what they can do downriver, upriver, everything else. Right. Well, when they let those gates open, when they let the gates of Cheat Lake open, it was honest to God, you could go whitewater rafting on that lake.
Oh,
The current was moving so fast, I've never seen a lake move. Imagine Tigert Lake, but imagine that water moving maybe 30 miles an hour towards that dam. I mean, because they had the gates open. It was all the gates were open, right? And all the debris that was coming down. I'm thinking, these are people's homes that are coming down, hitting Michelle's boat. And we're up there thinking, and Michelle and I on the way up to Morgantown, we're like, listen, if the boat's there, the boat's there. If it's not there, it's not there. It's just a boat because there's a lot more people in a much more terrible situation than if we're out there bitching about a boat, and somebody else is saying I don't have a house. How can you bitch about the boat?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Unless it was a houseboat, then at which point it might be a little bit different.
Yeah. There's always an exception.
Well, imagine being 91 years old, and I got a call from a guy named Mr. Fleming yesterday, 91 years old, and he says, look, my duct work is underneath the house is wrecked. I can't do it. And if no one comes up here to help me, I won't have any heat this winter, And so when we went up there, and helped him with his duct work and stuff, we found out that he even had a bridge that was washed out there in Wallace. And so we manhandled that bridge, 12 of us, and set it back up and, made it sturdy and safe. And just to see this guy smile on his face. I mean, he even told me at the end, he goes, when you all first came up, he goes, I didn't know what to think. He goes, you got, one of your friends had a little girl there. He goes, but, even with her around, just kind of made me happy. And he goes, and boy, you all did a lot of work.
Right.
And so, that right there, I mean, we don't, I mean, it's kind of interesting because, we get to go home every night. We have a home that's not growing mold in our basements. It's not flooded, and we're very blessed. And so when I see those folks up there and I see that total devastation, it's like last weekend in 100. Where's that lady Ann going to be spending the night?
Sure.
I mean, because the whole trailer got flooded out. And that's for us. I mean, when we do all this, it makes us feel good, but it really gets us in touch with our own humanity, and that's what keeps driving us to continue to do it, week in and week out. And but I mean, like I said, I mean, we know that when things first happen like this, we're going to get a big push in donations, a big push in help. But as the recovery process continues, because we'll probably be doing this every other weekend for maybe the next 6 months, but we know that it's going to kind of taper off a little bit, with the help, because other things are going to get on other people's minds and stuff. But the thing is, we just keep plugging away, and if we just make a difference in one person's life, or just make one person's day better, it's all worth it.
Yep.
It is all worth it.
Now, if there's somebody that wants to help that's listening right now, Wayne, what can they do? Where can they send stuff? Either money or a drop-off point, or what can they do? What can they do?
Well, in Harrison County, they have a drop-off point there in Wyatt. There's a church up there. I forget what it's called. So you'll have to look it up. It's probably the only church in Wyatt. But they're taking anything, any kind of donations. Food, flood supplies, you name it. Cleaning supplies. Now, as the long-term recovery kicks into high gear, some of these people may need drywall. They may need other things. And like I say, stay tuned to Facebook and other public service announcements about what people need at the time. But right now, it's mainly cleaning supplies and food. They're not taking any clothes. Because I think they're just giving people clothing vouchers. And the one thing that we learned in the 2016 flood, that when people were donating clothes, especially down in Raynell, they had to throw away a lot of them because a lot of them had bed bugs. So you can't be bringing that in homes. So they started giving clothing vouchers and stuff. Wallace Fire Department up there, they're collecting stuff too up in Wallace. The other thing is too, I think, and it's expensive too, but I think donating lime of all things.
Oh yeah.
We were at Mr. Fleming's today. We had no lime. We had to drive clear back into Shinston to Ace Hardware and get some lime. So those sort of just that basic stuff that cut the smell down off of people's basements and that sort of thing. That's huge because a lot of these people. We were in Wyatt yesterday. There's a lady named Wendy. Her basement was completely filled up. She got 3 feet of water in her home too, and we were shoveling all that mud and muck out of her basement. And she couldn't afford $30-$40 worth of lime to put in her basement and stuff. Her husband's in the hospital with some major health issues, and the simple things like that. You could donate that to the Wallace Fire Department, to the church up there in Wyatt.
Absolutely.
Those are the things you can do.
Now, Wayne, this is going to be a complete change of subject. But
that's all right.
This is the last episode in this studio. I don't know if you've heard that or not. You sat in a chair that Todd was sitting in. Actually,
right.
Yeah, because I don't think I was here.
You weren't here.
But
anyway,
he didn't have the cushion.
In 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to have the grand opening of the new Studio A in Chuck's Doghouse. That's what I'm kind of calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
we do need a real name for the new studio.
Yeah, we do. And we're going to have a reunion party. And since you were here before, we need you back live.
Yeah.
Now, I'll keep you updated because I know you have a pretty busy schedule.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to the excitement in his voice,
Okay.
Chuck.
You don't feel obligated, Wayne, but you're obligated.
We'll get Wayne in here. We need Randy Scott to fly up from Florida.
Randy Scott comes up from Florida. Brent Harris will be here. Brian Morton down from Harrisville.
Wait a minute.
Heck
you
yeah,
know
Brian.
who we need here to christen the new place?
Who's that?
Vaughn Haggerty.
Vaughn
Haggerty.
Well, what's that? Yeah,
I said it because Wayne couldn't hear us. Ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds
Vaughn
like a drummer
Haggerty.
for Van Halen.
It does, doesn't
yes.
it?
Oh, now we
Vaughn
got the
Haggerty
echo now.
this weekend, starting at the Mellon Arena. You can get your Ticketmaster tickets at 365-712-645-65609.
I think that's a lot of numbers.
Anyway, he starts out as Van
It's
Halen.
international.
Then it goes to Motley Crue. Then it goes to Vaughn Haggerty.
I hope you have all these labeled in the new studio.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Wayne, you probably can't even hear us now, can you?
I can, yeah.
Chuck's turning and twisting and punching.
I do not listen. I seriously don't know what happened there because I haven't touched a thing in here. Somebody's been screwing around.
Oh.
It could either be Craig Roberts down in Parkersburg.
Perhaps.
It could be the Duggar.
It might be.
It could be Brian Morton.
I don't know why it would
It could be Todd, Chad, Jimmy, Bruce, Antoinette, Derek.
Or the new owner of this room.
It could be Mia.
Could be the dog.
She wants us out of here ASAP, Wayne. I have 2 girls getting ready to move into that. Actually, 3 girls. 2 girls and a
Mama Bear.
Michelle Liza. What would you call that? Like a Godzilla? But you would say with Michelle.
No, I
in the
would
front?
never say that about her.
No, I wouldn't either. That's why I didn't
Mothra.
say that. Mothra.
Yeah.
Mothra.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's good.
So everything is being switched around here pretty fast. And we're having like a reunion party for the last time because, well, I may never see these guys again.
Yep. Just think what this room. Just think what this room's going to look like the next time you stick your head in here. It's going to look like a tornado went through it, buddy.
Listen.
I remember whenever there was just like that little black table.
Nobody
at
can hear
the
you.
center of the room.
Oh yeah, we just
yeah.
we're just 3 of us.
Yeah, that little black table.
Anyway, listen, Wayne. We're going to keep you on here all night if we don't. But anyway, why don't you go ahead and in the next couple of weeks or so, I'll let you know. And if you can make it, that would be fantastic. We're just going to have everybody up here. We'll have a little barbecue and stuff and everything. And keep up the good work, man. We follow everything that you do between going around to all these little different towns, helping people out with their addiction problems. You're doing great with On the Road. Man, those things, now listen, those things are outstanding.
Yeah.
We like watching those.
Hey, before he goes.
Hey, I appreciate you guys following that. Yeah.
Oh, it's
always tell people I like to bring a little piece of home to folks.
And you know what? You do great with those.
Hey, we got a comment from one of our viewers here. He says, how could the people not vote for D-Mac or Wayne Worth if they knew anything about them? Seriously.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, we did. We both got over 9,000 votes. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But
Hey, listen, that's for the next show.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's for what, next year?
You know what? If you weren't stealing his votes, he probably would have won.
Hey, Wayne Worth, I mean, thanks for being a good friend, brother, and keep up the good work, and we love, once again,
Hey.
Wayne Worth, he does.
Thank you for all you all do.
Listen, you are the jack of all trades, and I don't, how often do you sleep, is what I want to know.
I sleep between 5 and 6 hours a night.
Oh, my goodness,
And
man.
I have a day job, too. You know, I work 40 hours a week as a social worker, too, in 8 counties.
That's what I mean. That is great. That is absolutely fantastic.
That guy's burning the candle on both ends.
Poor guy was trying to take a nap the other day, and I called him, and it was because I was on a rant about something. I called him. He called me right back. He's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I dozed off. I was taking a nap." I was like, "You didn't have to call me back."
No, I'm sorry, I called you.
Hey, but Wayne, really appreciate you talking to us tonight. Keep up the good work, helping everybody out, and it's serious. And that one person might, one person that you affect right now might be the next person that affects. If one of the girls now, if they come in contact with something bad, they might say, "Look, listen, stay away from that stuff," because
Right.
something that you did. You never know. You just don't know.
Yeah, it's trickled down.
You just don't know. And I'm glad you're not turning a blind eye to all that stuff. And keep it up, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. It's an honor to be on the show, man.
All right.
You invited me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Worth from Clarksburg, West Virginia.
Hey,
Thank you, Wayne.
Woo!
I do have a great question, though.
It is an honor to be on this show.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they say. That's why they call me Your Honor all the time.
Oh.
I have a great question.
I just thought they said you're on her again.
Oh, I didn't think that. But it could be. Here's a great question, though, real quick. If you're like, say, I saw some of the flooding in 100 and in Mannington, say in Wallace, for example, and you're not labeled as in being in a flood zone.
Yeah.
Say, like, for example, that somehow I was flooded from it would be impossible here, and if it did, I'd be looking for NOAA.
And you don't have flood insurance?
And you don't have flood insurance. Are you shit out of luck?
Basically.
Are you?
Even though they tell you you're not in a flood zone. That's kind of sucks.
Because you got to have the insurance.
But I've also heard that if you live in a flood zone, it's really hard to get flood insurance.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
It is so screwed up.
Huh.
Hey, let me reiterate a little bit, expand on what Wayne was saying about about all the drop off points and everything.
Right.
What was not mentioned was 100 for manpower and donations at 100 High School.
100 High School.
Yeah, that's where we went in today. You go in there and you sign in, and you keep track of your hours. They'll give you a bracelet and everything. That starts tomorrow.
That's awesome.
So,
and if you happen to know any place that's doing a drop, a church or a community center or something like that, absolutely let us know. Write it in the comment. In the meantime, next up, we have...
Hold on just 1 second. You had Charity Baptist Church near Oakdale.
Oakdale. There's
Was
another
already
Charity
mentioned.
Baptist Church in Oakdale. Kevin Wiles said that?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you make them dance. You hit the emoji. Because next up, we have Antoinette Ellis Casto from the Sunset Ellis Drive-In right outside of Shinson on Route 19 celebrating 70 years of business. And this weekend is going to be exceptional. There's going to be contests. There's going to be prizes. Rogan Radio is going to be there broadcasting live. If you can believe it, it's going to be, well, you can't believe it. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're going to catch all the details up here very shortly with Antoinette. Make them dance. I need to drink a beer. My God. And then we're going to get Michelle in here. Where's she been?
She's out on the deck with Cuddles. Cuddles.
Where is she?
I want to shout out to my mom and my cousin Brian Fleming.
Get some shout-outs. Do you see somebody on there? Shout
Jeremy
'em out.
Duckworth. Say hi to Jeremy
What's up,
Duckworth.
Ducko?
Come back to work tomorrow, buddy.
Bartender Mike.
Yeah, Bartender Mike.
Mike.
Patty Post.
Hey, baby.
Ernie Johnson.
Hey, baby.
Who else we got on there?
Kevin Wiles. We got Kevin Wiles on there.
Keep it up.
Stone Sampson.
Chris
Ern
Swagger.
Dog, right? Ernie Johnson's on here.
Ern Dog's on there.
Tom Tucker.
Hey, Jimmy, you're on here.
Hey, I'm on here. Thank
Jimmy
God,
Whiz.
Jim.
Chuck Nicholson.
Chuck Nicholson.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Grump's on
We love Chuck. Melissa Ford Jet.
Hello, Melissa.
Bow, bow. We said Terry Reinhardt.
Hello. Did you ever
Digger's on
Kim
here.
Goodwin.
Digger?
Did you ever get Terry her sticker?
I still have her sticker.
Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, it's
Come
only
here,
been
baby.
18 months, bro. Don't rush me.
Okay. Put this up here.
Ern Dog's in the house.
Yeah, he is.
Hi, Ernie.
Uh-oh. You hear that voice?
Kim Goodwin.
Say it again.
Kimberly.
Hi, Ernie.
Listen, we just came back. We just came back from the beach. Okay, we had a week's vacation.
Oh, here it comes.
And some crazy things happened.
Yes, Todd.
Now, some crazy things happened.
Well, I can guess, Chuck.
Well, guess. Give us your best guess.
Well, while Chuck's attempt to swim in the ocean,
yeah,
you guys often talk about cheating and not cheating and stuff. And
right.
I want to answer from Michelle.
Oh, Brucey's put me on a spot.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He's a big fan of a so-called inflatable sex dolls.
Oh, what? He is. We do know that's the truth, Bruce.
So I just wondered if it's a cheating if he used that as a floating device.
Ooh. Absolutely.
As a floating device.
As a floating device.
Just like a giraffe.
As a floating device, like in the ocean
right.
or the pool.
Right.
Yeah.
How he holds on to it is all up to him, but it's still...
Yeah. How you tell the difference?
If he's drowning...
Okay.
And that's the only thing available, I would throw him one.
So if he's drowning
now, listen,
in love.
As an example, say like Brucey says, I have an imported from Japan inflatable sex doll. Okay. And I want to go to Myrtle Beach. And you can't use the old rafts. Remember the old rafts?
Yeah.
That you use the canvas rafts. You used to be going those ways, and listen, you cut your nipples off riding on them things. It was terrible. But say I had an inflatable sex doll, and I was using that. And she had a big mouth and big blue eyes and dark hair, and she was real skinny.
Why does she have to have dark hair?
She has blonde hair.
Than blonde.
I'm just joking. Listen, she gives me
Why does she have to have a big mouth?
Because you got a big mouth, baby. I'm just trying to be like you.
Wait, who said it was a girl sex doll?
See, that's what I'm saying. See, it was Ken. And say I'm out there, I'm just floating, trying to get some suntan.
Minding your own business.
And I'm laying on top of that thing, riding the waves, the motion of the ocean. So you're saying that's sort of cheating?
Yes, sounds fun for you.
What if it gets a hole in it and he has to plug up that hole or he's going to die?
All right, moving on. Moving on to some of the stories.
Yeah, I just had to ask.
That was a good one. That was absolutely pretty good one.
Thank you, Bruce.
Funny, Brucey.
3 stories that come to mind, and I have plenty.
There's so many
This
stories.
is the first time that I've ever been on vacation with the 2 girls, actually all 3 girls, and the entire Hall family. We were all down at Myrtle Beach, and listen.
I bet they learned a lot
you
about
were
you.
so under scrutiny, you don't know.
They will not forget our names because we tore it up. We did karaoke stuff. We did more line dancing than anybody ever has. I think even at Sagebrush up there on Bunner's Ridge. But there's 3 things that come to mind. First off, we go. We had a night of partying. Megan, her oldest daughter, turned 21 on Thursday. So we go out and we party in Myrtle Beach. We go to Broadway. We do all these things. Do oyster shooters. We celebrate her being 21. I'm 46. I'm not as strong as I used to be in that regard. Anyway,
we did well.
We did well. So when we got back to the hotel, which was like a resort sort of place, her brother and I decided we're going to go ahead and take a 2 o'clock in the morning swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
Now Jimmy was telling me that's when the sharks come in.
I was going to say that's about the time they want to feed, right?
Well, I didn't know.
Sharks feed about 2 a.m.
Well, obviously
Jim.
Yeah. Yep.
So we were out there in the ocean at 2 a.m. So then Michelle comes out and she starts snapping her fingers, doing her bewitched act, telling us to get out of the ocean. At which point, these 2 dudes jump into the hot tub. So there's 2 of us in the hot tub. This is probably about 2:30 in the morning. There's nobody else. You can't see anybody but the security guard. And we're not even supposed to be in the hot tub. But we're in the hot tub.
Yeah. The heart tub. Who are you marrying now? Did you change your mind?
Hey, at least I'm keeping it in the family.
Okay.
So after all this is over with, the moral of the story is I go back to the room, the girls are back, Michelle is back, and I am soaking wet because I've been in the ocean, I've been in the hot tub.
The hot tub?
And the pool.
And the pool. I forgot about the pool. And the pool. So I go to bed. At which point in the morning, I wake up to a bed that is completely soaked. Completely soaked. Because I didn't change my clothes.
He forgot to tell you he just got in bed without taking anything off.
Well, we also left the fact out that he was hammered.
Yeah.
Well, there's the funny part about the story is that we were trying to cuddle a little bit, or I tried to cuddle up to her in the middle of the night, because I was cold. Obviously, I had the air conditioner. We had the air conditioner down to 60 degrees. I just get out of water. I'm like an ice
beach,
cube.
so you get sand
on a beach, sand all up my ass and everything else. And you know what? And that bed got so narrow, and I'm surprised she even stayed on that bed.
No, I just kept going, Chuck, pushing you off.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the participation.
Yeah.
See?
You know how they sound effects, Jim? Going.
Now, anyway, the best part about this, kind of complimenting on the hot tub part, is that her brother and I, earlier in that day, her brother is interested in getting a condo at one of these resorts down there, one of these hotels. Mm-hmm. So he's like, hey, let's go down here and check out one of these condos, okay? Lord forbid somebody saw us at this place and saw us that night, because we walk in and inquire about buying a condo.
Okay.
So we go together, go up to the front desk, and we inquire about a one-bedroom condo at Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Me and my partner.
And the lady, she was from, like, I don't know where she was from, Romania or something. She's like, oh, you two like this room really well. And I wasn't even paying attention. Right. I don't even think your brother was paying attention. But we're walking around, and the next thing you know, that probably same lady was cleaning out trash cans at the resort we're staying at, and she just sees us in the hot tub, in the pool. At least I'm keeping it in the family. That's all I'm telling you. But anyway, no, in reality, though, yeah, exactly. Now I'll tell you what. Now have you guys ever done an Uber?
That's not a shark fin.
No.
Have you ever done an Uber taxi before?
No, but I want to.
Let me tell you something. They're legit.
You know, Corey Hagen's an Uber driver.
Is he?
I swear to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Ubers. They're legit. I mean, they're absolutely
fantastic.
They're absolutely
Too
great.
legit to
Are they
quit.
around here? You think they're around here? Well, I guess Corey's
They're
around
in
here.
Morgantown.
I heard of them.
Yeah.
But I think there are in Morgantown.
And let me tell you something. Here's how. So you just get your little app out. You tell them where you're at. They come pick you up, and you don't pay anything. You don't give them anything. It's all over like PayPal or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. But the guy that we had, it was probably 1:30 in the morning, something like that. Mm-hmm. So he comes and picks us up, and we're at this at Broadway at Myrtle Beach, and we are I was Michelle. We were all different people because we were out of our minds. And so we go down to Duffy's. They're near the old Myrtle Beach part where Alabama started.
Because my brother convinced him that we needed to go bar hopping, and he obliged.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Uber guy.
It was a good idea.
So we go down to Duffy's because you have to go. That's the place where Myrtle Beach started, down there where Alabama first started playing the band, right? So I go in. I think I went in to go pee or something. I come out with 5 shots actually.
One for the Uber driver?
And one for the Uber driver. The problem is, though, he's in his car. He can't get out because he has gout on his foot or something. His foot's about as big as Michelle's head. I mean, this dude's foot was ginormous.
Big?
Very small.
He
Very
had
small.
gout in one leg.
You saying Michelle's head's big?
So
Was it Corey Hagen? Because Corey has the gout.
Does he?
Corey does. Corey has the gout, and he's an Uber driver.
This
is crazy.
But he was wearing Alabama stuff.
Well, that doesn't... Corey, you don't know about him.
Well, listen, we get this guy. We get this guy actually to come out because we can't take the liquor off of the grounds of Duffy's.
Yeah.
This Uber guy, he gets out of that thing and he's got his one bad foot. We're all over there slobbering all over ourselves, going, "Wow, this is great as this popcorn."
Wait, was he doing weather forecasts?
He wasn't doing weather forecasts. No.
Well.
So then we do our shot. And it was that. It was fantastic. What a great week. There's plenty of more stories, but there's a lot.
He talks about licking alcohol off a
Yeah,
floor.
I know.
But yeah, you mentioned a toenail in his mouth, and he's like,
dude.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You take like a little penknife and scrape the cheese out from underneath that big toenail, and he thinks that's disgusting.
Hey, don't forget about the Snickers in the toilet.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that?
Oh, here comes Steve. Here comes Steve. There's a gang. No. You come back in here, Chuck. You come back. Hey, the people want this for the last show. We've already had requests for you and your nagging. There it is.
Hey, remember that giant hairball in the oatmeal?
Oh, the hairball in the oatmeal was horrible.
Oh my God! Where are you going?
Guys!
No, it's okay.
Oh, don't start that lovey-dovey wham bullshit. He's had this coming.
That's funny.
Michelle, roll that camera around there, Michelle. You got him. He's to the right.
Yeah. Well, don't go too far.
Your other right.
There he is. Staring at that damn phone.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Chuck's the only one that's ever seen a bowl of oatmeal with a perm. A bowl of oatmeal with a perm. What's that look like?
With a perm.
A bowl of oatmeal with a perm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bowl of oatmeal with a perm.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I appreciate that. Once again,
Oh my God.
this is the very last episode in this studio, and I'm proud of that.
I figured it out.
I hope Steve's still on
Glad
here.
to get him thrown up on our floor yet.
Oh man, that's nuts. I hate that right there. Anyway, Antoinette, let's get to business. Thank you, Michelle.
He's crying.
Oh, that was brutal. Anyway, so we have coming up on August 12th, which is this Saturday, the 70th anniversary of the opening of the Sunset Ellis.
The drive-in.
Of the drive-in.
The drive-in
Right.
theater.
Now, tell us some of the things that is going to be going on. Because there's all kinds of contests.
Yeah.
What movies are going to be playing yet? Do you know?
You know, we don't. I don't know. We'll post them as soon as we know. We like to have them first before we post them in case something goes wrong. We don't get the right one.
Right.
Hate to say that.
But we're going to be broadcasting up there, and we're going to have all the entire setup. There's going to be karaoke things. There's going to be some different kind of contests.
Different kind of contest.
Yeah. And now tell us about some of the specials, though, because the diner, the
Oh,
restaurant's
yeah,
actually
the hot
Did you see
dog,
that?
the hot dog, and the fries.
The restaurant's actually involved with the drive-in.
Yeah, Dad wanted to go on. He wanted to participate.
He's all about
Not
it.
just the drive-in. Yeah.
I love your dad, by the way. I tell you
thank
what,
you,
he's cool as balls, man.
He said we've got to do something in the restaurant. And I said okay. So we brainstormed. So we thought, hot dog 70 cents that day, fries 70 cents, and pop 70 cents.
Right.
So that's for the entire day, for all day long. Segue into the evening.
Oh, it's going to be all
day.
day, the entire day.
Yeah,
It's
70,
opening to closing all day.
And what time's the doors open up there that you can
Doors
actually
open around 9 in the morning, 9 to 9 basically.
right,
The
and
restaurant.
then the drive-in will be open around 6 or so
6.
probably.
They're going to open the doors early at 6. The magician's going to start at 6:30.
Now listen, I love magic.
Magician.
I love magic. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with some of the activities that you kind of have right off the top of your head.
So this fella's from 13th Hour Entertainment from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
All right. He's David Copperfield in Albert Einstein's body. He's got this
Nice.
crazy silver hair.
Nice.
He's just really cool, and he knows what he's doing. He's just a ton of fun. So we've seen him perform before. So he's a lot of fun. And something else I want everybody to do too. A lot of people participate is decorate their cars, but it has to be in theme of a movie.
Okay.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. So I put a few examples on our Facebook page, and I'll put a few more.
So say if you want to do what was the one with the what was the car thing? I think it was called
Cars.
the cars.
The
Well,
movie
you have the
Lightning
movie cars, but then
McQueen
you have
or-
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I posted a couple of those. But you know what? You know what I want to see?
Dumb and Dumber.
I want to see Herbie the Love Bug.
Herbie. Hey, there's
Like,
one.
listen.
There's one in town because I've seen it driving around.
Well, they need to
I
drive
saw
us
it
to
in
the drive-in.
Bridgeport,
I would love to see
Lee
that.
Goad is who it is.
How about the one off
Get a hold
Animal?
of
How about the one off Animal House?
And you know what else? Scooby-Doo's a cool one.
Scooby
Oh, the Mystery
Machine.
Mystery Machine.
Somebody has that vehicle somewhere.
They
I've
better
seen
be
one.
they drive. Listen,
I've seen one.
They
too.
need to drive in that night. It'll be a lot of fun.
So that's going to be a complete contest on its own.
Yeah, on its own.
I'm still trying to grab my breath because they have me puking. I'm sorry.
But
we didn't have you puking. You had yourself puking.
So anyhow, there's going to be some others. We have over $1,000 of prizes to give away. So one of them is a vintage Snap-on tool refrigerator.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
cool.
cool.
That's
That
cool.
is.
That
I would
was,
like to win that.
expensive
Yeah.
stuff.
Donated compliments of one of our classmates,
Really?
Timmy Wentz from
Really?
Snap-on Tools. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Cool.
Timmy's been doing that, I think, since we got out of high school.
He's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, he has.
He's like, whatever you want. He says, I've got something just for you. So it's
Awesome.
sitting. We have jewelry. We have
You should have, like, furthest
Napa
distance
from
travel.
Napa donated stuff. AutoZone. I mean,
Wow,
there's
that's
all
cool
kinds
stuff
of.
there.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, that's a good idea, D-Mac.
We've got
farthest
tons of
distance travel.
Farthest distance traveled. You show up, show us your
Oh,
license.
you know what?
bam.
You know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
And the longest couple or family attending the drive-in.
Oh, so
Terry
that's-
Del Rio.
Terry Del Rio. You know what was funny though when we went up there last year and we were talking to people at the drive-in. It was funny to see how far people do. Like
Yeah.
the people from I think it was D.C. or something like that came over
Yeah.
because they don't have drive-ins there.
There's some people that come in for family reunions and they'll stop. They'll go to the.
That's
drive-in.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But I think Todd and I were talking to a couple. I think it was 30 years, Todd, they were coming there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do you remember them?
No,
Do you remember?
I think I do.
And they watch the marquee.
Mhm.
They know it's the end of the season, when at the end of the movie. They base the seasons on the drive-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the truth of it. I mean, that's pretty much the truth.
So, yeah.
So there's all kinds of, once again, the 70th anniversary of the drive-in up at Sunset. And that is great.
Yeah. We're going to have a ton of fun in 2 hours. We only have 2 hours to do all the things.
Ton of fun in 2 hours?
Listen, it's going to be...
I've been getting 60 seconds for no fun.
60, I mean, yeah, 60
So-
seconds. 2 hours of nonstop, basically, entertainment. We're going to have
Yep.
dancing. We're going to have karaoke. We're going to be giving away all
Yep.
kinds of prizes that you got.
Tons of prizes.
Best car contest or car based on a movie theme contest.
Has to be based on a movie theme, yeah.
What about a character? What if you want to dress up as a character from a movie?
I don't know about characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We got Bruce Willis here.
Bruce
Yeah,
Willis?
I'm here.
He's going to be in the new Death Wish?
You know it. We got Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan! Dang!
Don't forget about the Godfather back there.
Godfather's back there.
Yeah, Brad Pitt right here. Yeah.
No.
Shut up.
Yeah.
More like Spanky from Little Rascals.
Who's the dude from Home Alone? What was his name?
Macaulay
Culkin.
Yeah.
Right there he is. Keep it up, my boy. Keep it up.
Matt, you just got to go get some aftershave and hit your face.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's a nice way, I think, to wrap up the end of the summer before school starts. And all
Because
that
school's going to be
happens.
starting,
It's
next
gonna be
week in
starting,
Harrison County,
August
right?
15th.
Yeah.
How about that? How fast does time
So-
fly?
Yeah.
It starts for Taylor County on the 15th.
Yeah.
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 So how
So-
about? I mean, it just seems like we were just talking. Even last year, when we were talking, we did that. We came down and did that little video,
Right, yeah.
And that was just that was a year and a half ago.
I'm trying to find that right now.
That was before the new ticket booth and all that stuff was.
All the because
Screen was fixed. Yeah, the
screen
screen.
was
Yeah,
fixed.
before all that.
Screen was fixed.
Yeah, that's right.
That's going to be fantastic. But
It'll
it's
be
just,
nice.
once again, to reiterate, the 70th anniversary of movies being shown at the Sunset Drive-In,
Yep.
right on Route 19. The Ellis family. You just had a reunion too. I saw.
We did just have a reunion. Yeah.
How
We
many?
had-
How
we
many?
had everybody from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast. There.
Did the Vegas Ellis come?
They did.
Did they?
They were there. Yeah,
That's awesome.
It was great, and they were the last ones to leave. They were just so
It was a good
excited.
time. Have a good
Oh
time.
my God, it was a great time.
I'm
We didn't
sure.
want to end it. We were like
You
all
know what?
sitting there.
Isn't that
Didn't
kind
wanna
of
end
funny to where when you get in a situation like that where, like we're pretty much spread out too, and you don't really see each other, and then when you do get everybody together, you're like, why do we never see each other?
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's such a good time when you do. You have
Oh,
all
it's-
these
yeah.
stories, and you remember things that you forgot about,
Oh, my gosh.
yesterday. And
Yeah.
what a great time! That is great.
It was 3 days of nothing but
And-
fun
and your dad- your
oh
dad-
my gosh, he went to everything.
Listen, I
he was the
am
MC
sure.
of everything.
Listen,
I am
he's like
absolutely
Forrest
sure.
Gump. That guy's like Forrest Gump.
Anthony Ellis, let me tell you something. That guy has done everything and has seen everything. He is now
is.
that guy's a magician.
Yeah, he
because
really
he is so talented on so many levels. I mean, as a dad, as an entrepreneur, as a musician.
There you go.
I had the magician thing in my head.
Right.
A musician. I mean, he was telling the stories when we were down there about being in an orchestra at BOY when BOY was live and they were doing commercials and he was playing in a band.
That's what I mean.
on
It's-
live TV.
He's dipped his toe in every water.
It's awesome.
He forgets nothing.
No, that's
Forgets nothing.
I
so.
can't remember what happened yesterday.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to talk to because
Yeah.
he just talk your ear off and
He's
he's
awesome.
interesting. He's just an interesting
He
fellow.
very
Yeah.
much
Very
very much so. I love talking to him every time I go in there.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a keeper. Love you, Dad. Love you, Dad. I know he's listening.
I love Anthony, man. He's a good dude. He's
So
a good
we're
dude.
excited. We're excited for Saturday. He's excited for Saturday. So if it rains, we don't even want to talk about rain. So, but anyhow,
the
we're
10
gonna.
day looks good.
10 day looks
Yep,
good.
looks good.
That's
so
good.
it's going to be great.
And we're going to be down there once again 6 o'clock. The gates will open up.
Gates open at 6.
However, all day long at the restaurant, you're going to have 70-cent
Hot dogs, French fries, and pop all day long.
all day long. That is
Hot
great.
dogs,
And
French
that's
fries,
at
about
the
70
Ellis.
cents each. That's great.
I better stop
That's
by.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's
Looks
good.
like I'm going to the movies.
Yeah. Listen, and I can't wait. You know what? You have me excited now because I'm going to be there all night. I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to call off work on Saturday.
You can't
Get
have already
off
got the day off.
You get
Damn,
off
I
at
can't
noon,
call-
man. What are you talking about? You get off at noon.
Yeah, I guess I do
Call in
now.
sick. I'll call in sick, though.
Well, thanks for coming in, Antoinette, to
You're
make sure
welcome.
that you tell the entire family everything. And
Okay.
And listen, those wings, when we came down there and tried the wings, oh my goodness. Did you ever get the boneless wings?
Yes, yeah, we do.
Oh, those were so good. Those were so good. We need to go down there. We haven't had a big party down at the Ellis.
You know what, though? This is what we should do after next weekend. We need to do a follow-up so we can, talk about Saturday evening after all. And do we need to do a recap. So we should go up to the restaurant. And we'll all eat and recap.
We could do a Sunday morning recap breakfast.
Listen, there'll be so much going on in 2 hours. I think we won't be able to catch everything going on.
Right.
So we'll need to recap all that.
Yeah, because we'll have the cameras, we'll have the drone out, we'll have all this different stuff to document all that, and then we'll put it together. We really won't know until the next day or something.
We should have people walking around too, talking to different families and getting some stories and all kinds of stuff.
Put it all together, make a music video.
Just toss it all and recap. Do a little,
70 years is a long time for
Vaughn
something.
Haggerty playing guitar.
And it's a whole...
Vaughn Haggerty playing guitar.
Vaughn Haggerty. You know what? Wayneworth...
We need to invite Vaughn Haggerty. You think he'll come Saturday?
I think he will.
I think we need to invite him.
Special guest appearance.
Special guest appearance this Saturday at the Sunset Ellis Drive-In. It's Vaughn Haggerty. The guy has a name like he should be a rock and roll star, but instead he has a Facebook page called I Like Shinson. It's Vaughn Haggerty.
Haggerty.
Appearing this Saturday on the 70th anniversary of the Sunset Ellis Drive-In, that's Vaughn Haggerty.
Haggerty.
Get your tickets now at Mellon Arena at 654-573-575-1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8-23-2200 extension 7575-121212.
We'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge. Listen, when I listen back to this podcast, every time you do that with the phone number, I crack up, man.
Oh, no.
I'm walking down the street carrying the mail, and I hear Chuck saying, 52498-57429. I just start laughing.
The whole thing is, and that was all inspired.
That's hilarious.
That's all inspired from DVE, and they used to have the monster truck things.
Yeah.
And DVE and monster trucks, that was the bomb. It would be like, this Saturday at the Mellon Arena, watch your monster truck action with the Big Reaper come to town in Pittsburgh. Grave digger! 2,000 horsepower in each cylinder to come to kick your ass. Kids of all ages, women and children invited. It's this Saturday at the Mellon Arena. Get your tickets now at the Ticketmaster at 1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8. Now it's the Grim Reaper and Bigfoot Monster Truck Arena. And then next thing after that, you would hear DVE. And it would go in something like, it would go into something like the Joker. Yeah. It would be like you'd have this monster truck thing that would just make you want to go out and kill somebody. And then it would go into playing something like Sweet Home Alabama. It's like, really?
That's funniest shit we ever done. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what's going to be funny shit right now. We're going to do it right now. We're going to have karaoke. Michelle and I did karaoke down at Myrtle Beach.
Yes, I saw the video.
And you know what? We're going to do it right now. So we were kind of thinking about what kind of video we're going to do, or what kind of song we're going to do. And we're going to do Baby Got Back, courtesy of
Baby
D-Mac.
Got Back.
They only talk to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see
what is that?
Okay. I mean, her butt is just so...
Here we go, Brucey.
It's just so round. It's like out there.
A little bit of Sir Mix-a-Lot action. Once again, this is going to be the last podcast we have in this room for a couple weeks. Actually, it's going to be... Butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. When a pull-up top because
that butt was
I can't read that.
Deep in the jeans she's wearing.
I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
Oh, baby, I want to get with ya and take your picture.
My homeboy tried to warn me, but that butt you got
me so horny.
Oh, rub her smooth skin. You say you want to get in my bins? Well, use me, because you ain't the average groupie. I seen her dancing. The hell with her romancing. She sweats and wet. Ooh, gotta go on like a turbo vet. I'm tired of magazines saying flat butts are the thing. Take the average black man at him that.
She gotta pack that much. Oops, so fellas.
Yeah.
That butt.
Hell yeah.
Shake it. Shake that healthy butt. Baby got back. Michelle got back. What? All
the
right,
picture you posted.
You know what the most impressive part of that whole karaoke thing was?
Was it D-Mac knew every
D-Mac
word?
did not even have to look at the words.
No,
Oh
no.
my gosh, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
He did not
No.
know that. He wasn't even looking at
I know.
the screen. He knew every word.
Hey, listen.
I'm
this
like,
is-
how does he do that?
no kidding. Back, oh man, a long time ago. I used to call in.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, right. Like 93 during a big snowstorm. Remember when we had that big blizzard?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sitting in my room and I got my cassette player there with my tape in there and I'm ready. And I waited all night for them to play that damn song.
So you
I
can
said,
record it?
Yes, I could record it.
I know.
Screwed it up.
You missed
Screwed
it.
up.
Listen.
Record it
Yeah, that reminds me of a point. Like I know, like the radio guys, like Chuck and Duggar, they always talked about how it was such a science. We had to talk right until the word, so it wouldn't get done, and then all of a sudden it'd start singing. I freaking hated that because I wanted the whole song recorded, and I'd be like, stop talking.
Lorraine Robinson was hooking me up.
True, too.
She was hooking me up.
That's
It was
so
coming,
true.
and it came, and I was like, "Bah, bah, bah," and I screwed it up.
Like, no.
So from that point on, I decided I did get the majority of the song, but not the whole song. So then I just decided I was going to learn the whole song.
See what
And
Jimmy's
you did?
Yeah.
What Jimmy's talking about, like radio guys intro, and I did the same thing. I have the record button on the radio because we didn't have, it was a cassette player.
Mm-hmm.
And it was easy. So then you would have some dipshit, say like the radio announcer guy, excuse me, would go like, all right, Pittsburgh, it's 12:22 and Rogan in the studio. Weather today is going to be 70 degrees and forecast is going to be pretty relatively minty, maybe rain tonight. Traffic on 68 is looking pretty good until tonight. In the meantime, here's ACDC, DTE. But they would have something like that.
And then they would start
Then the
singing,
song would
and I'd
start.
be like, yeah, what's that called? Hitting the post? Hitting the post? Is that what that's called?
You would do that. I can't. I'm still choked up. I'm still trying to catch my breath when you guys made me puke.
Steve Chevron, that was a request from Steve.
Yeah, that was a request.
Too, 'cause I remember
A request from Chevron.
I remember
Oh,
like, early
Chevron
2000s,
did
they
that.
would do
Yeah.
What was
I
that?
remember early 2000s they would still do that. They would talk right up until like lyrics started.
Oh no, that's the
Oh,
whole
they still
thing.
do. Yeah,
yeah.
they still
I
do
mean,
it.
that was the whole thing.
They thought it was an art, and I hated it because I couldn't record the whole song.
if you do that, I mean, you could have like we would have cue cards, like when you would play a DVD or like it was CDs, but originally it was records, and they would actually tell you, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever the intro was on the song. So you would have to think, and you would have certain times of the hour to what you would say, time, temperature, what your name is, what's coming up next, telephone number, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's down. The clock on a music radio station is down to a science. Just like the commercials. Commercials are down. You'll hear those commercials every single time at the
15
same
seconds,
time. Every time. So anyway, and that's how you do your intros. And then you would have liners in between. Say if you had something cold with a zero intro, you'd hit a liner. Like you would say, great 98. And then boom. And then when the music would just start. Yeah.
Hey, I got to show you something here. Donnie Everett says, thanks, guys. Great. Now Liam is walking around saying, shake that happy butt.
Hey, well, that's perfect.
Now here's
He said, great. Now how am I going to explain that to daycare?
Hey, at least he's not walking around saying, my anaconda don't want none.
Yeah.
Now this is what I want to try because people listen to this thing on their phones and they listen to it. I mean, Facebook's one aspect, but like I said, tomorrow will be the actual podcast for the world to listen to. Is when you say, Alexa, what's the temperature? And how many Alexas go off and tell the temperature?
Yeah.
You'd be like,
So
Siri,
if you're listening
Siri.
to this now, being tomorrow when it comes
Or
out as
even
a
right
podcast, or even right now,
See if anybody says anything like that.
throw it out there. We want to have comments from y'all. Go to our website, leave us a message. Hell, call us up and leave us a message. Mine went off.
Email, whatever.
Like this. Alexa, Simon says Chuck is a stud muffin. Somewhere there's an Alexa
Alexa,
saying Chuck is a stud
or
muffin.
you just do the Google one, be like, okay, Google.
Or Siri.
Yeah, Siri.
Siri.
No, Siri's all voice. I mean, it's by your
She's
voice.
voice activated, right?
By your voice.
Oh, your voice. Oh, I don't have an iPhone.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, hey.
Which one is that?
That's, I'll call you back, Todd.
Oh, you all right? Hit that cough button.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that we also have on Saturday, earlier in the day, the Relay for Life. I can't talk, man. You guys got me puking and stuff. And
You don't seem to be puking.
I think you'll be okay.
Hey,
Maybe you got something
Not
stuck
the
in
Relay
your
for Life, the Ride for Life.
Maybe
I'm
you got
sorry.
something stuck in your throat.
Go ahead.
I tell you what, let's start everything off on Friday because when on Friday, Obsidian's at 1206 Pleasant Valley Road. Obsidian's Bar is having a Red Solo Cup Bash.
Red Solo Cup.
You can get $2 drafts, $5 Malibu Bay Breeze, $3.50 Dragon Kiss shots, or $2 Jello shots. Start off your weekend on Friday. Head over to Obsidian's.
Start off your weekend and don't remember it. That's all that.
Yeah. Go over to Obsidian's. Have yourself a nice time down there. Have some fun. Get a good night's sleep after that. Come out for the ride on Saturday over here at Texas Roadhouse. Registrations are from 10 to noon. The Ride for Life. 130-mile ride. Whew.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
You'll start
too.
at Texas Roadhouse. You'll end at the Best Western there in Bridgeport, right across Route 50 from where you started. Then after that, head yourself down to the Ellis Drive-In. Get yourself a 70-cent hot dogs, French fries, and Coke. Watch a magician. Go through your games and stuff like that. Watch a couple good movies. Just enjoy your whole weekend. Start it off early on Friday.
That's right. It's a back-to-school weekend. Get out there. Get
you know what, Todd? He would have been furious if we would have.
You know, back in the day.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Michelle, can you bring me a towel, please?
If we would have spilled something, he would have been like,
he says,
you know how much money I got laying on this table?
He says, to hell with it. This is the last weekend in here.
How are we going to end this show?
Well, here's how we're going to end it.
Are we going to do one of our music things where one of us
all say something gross?
We all add in a music note.
Oh yeah,
beatbox. Yeah,
we can do that. Okay, here's how we're going to end it. We've been doing this now for 2 years. 2 years in this very room, and it grew from a little black table with 3 dipshits into what you have seen today.
Now we got white tables.
Now we got
so
dipshits.
That is so
Thank you,
racist.
Thank you. I just spilled beer all over. That wasn't my fault. That was Todd's. He hit the table.
No, it wasn't.
It was Christian's because he
Don't
was.
start
He's
this
already making
relationship
excuses to the little woman.
Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to have to talk because I'm losing my voice. You hear that?
Starting to sound like Darren.
I sound like Peter Brady. I can't talk right now.
You look like Peter Brady.
I think my balls finally dropped after 46 years. Listen, that's weird, isn't
Michelle, can you come back in here, please?
Check this for us. We need to clean up on
it?
aisle
Okay,
one.
I can't. I lost my voice. I strained my vocal cords. They're puking. It's horrible. Anyway, how are we going to end this thing?
Ernie Johnson
Goodbye.
said with a Katy Perry song.
Goodbye.
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Goodbye.
We're gonna start it like we're gonna end it like we started it. We're gonna do this. We practiced it 2 weeks ago. We have like a what we do, Antoinette and Christian, is that we're gonna have a beat laid down, and then you just make a sound. Okay, you make a sound. You put your hand up when you're ready to split. Okay, put your hand up. I'm gonna turn your mic down, unplug your microphone, and walk out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got it. Everybody ready?
Hey, start from that side, will
I'm
you?
going to go to the open screen for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been real for 2 years. This will be Rogan Radio's last broadcast out of Studio A at Casa La Rogan Lumberport. It's almost kind of sad a little bit. But in a couple weeks, we're going to be in a brand new studio.
Yeah, it's just starting a new chapter.
Yeah, we're
not really.
We're not like done.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, we're going to start a new one.
All right. Everybody has to make a sound. Okay, ready?
Is that your sound, Jim?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. All right, we're out of here. That was fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause. You know what? You guys are fantastic. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to turn off the microphones. We're going to walk out of here. I'm going to gargle some baking soda. And the next time you see us, we will be in a completely different studio out in the doghouse or whatever we decide to call it. And that might be 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good night from Rogan Radio on behalf of Darren Harmon, Chad Pupupuccio, Ellis Casto, D-Mac, Drusilla, Jimmy Wiz, Captain Earl Todd Beck, Christian Wiz, Erica Mia Cuddles, and Michelle Hall from Western Springs, West Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Rogan Radio.
Well, if you could see you through God's eyes, steady your ego. Well, I believe you'd be surprised to see you, brother, you've been blind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls. Now let us spend a day throwing stones at one another. Cause I don't think I'm gonna wear my hair, bro, the same way you do. Well, I may be just common people, but I'm your brother. And when you strike out to try to hurt me, it's a hurting you. Lord have mercy, walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, baby. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah. Now there are people on the reservations, and they're out in the ghetto. And brother, there, before the grace of God, I go you and I. Now if I only had the wings of a little angel, don't you know I'd fly to the top of a mountain, and then I'd cry, 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 walk a mile in my shoes. Just walk a mile in my shoes, yeah. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Down, 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 down. Just walk a mile in my shoes, yeah. Just walk a mile in my shoes. Yeah, before you abuse, criticize and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well,